What's up, Internet? Welcome to Brain Noob's review of the Lunatik TakTik Extreme iPhone case. You have to forgive me if my voice sounds a little weird today. My allergies are acting up. But this is an iPhone case I've been pretty excited to review here for a while, so we're going to jump right in. Immediately upon receiving it, you'll notice that in your hands the case feels rather large. I mean, it doesn't feel nearly as streamlined as the iPhone 5 is or anything like that. And the packaging is actually really cool. I thought it was going to be a lot more bulky, but they obviously streamlined it like they did the case. You'll open it up here in the back, and you'll see, you got the same thing they have on their website. It basically tells you all about it, the bezels, the 6 screws, and all that stuff. Okay, and then basically this pops open like that, and you have your little tool here. This is one of two tools that they will give you. And then I've already opened it and put the iPhone in. But you'll unscrew these 6, and then inside the phone case, you'll have this. Talks about the Gorilla Glass lens here. On the back, there's nothing. They give you a little screen cleaning cloth, a extra screw. There are 6 of them. I don't believe right now they have the ability to order any extra screws, so if you lose more than one, you're kind of out on that deal. And then they give you a nicer tool for unscrewing these screws. I don't know why they needed to include 2. It's kind of nice that they did, though, because if you lose one, you're not out of luck. And then your instructions. And I just noticed here, so forgive me for saying that there are replacement parts info at lunatik.com. So apparently you can get extra screws. So the case itself, obviously the only way I know how to really describe it is military grade. It is one of the strongest cases out there. Obviously it's meant to compete with the OtterBox, but it goes further beyond that. It feels significant in your hands. And obviously the way it works is you got your 6 screws here. You'll take those off, and right here is the headphone port. And then you have this port right here for charging. Over here you got the buttons for sound. And the silencer switch is actually right here. Let's see if I can get this turned on. And you got to kind of... One of the things I noticed is when you first put the case on, it kind of has to pop into place first. But after that, it's pretty easy to get it on and off. And then we'll actually take the case apart to show you what it looks like. Alright, so now that we have these 6 screws out, I'll basically just show you how the case fits together. So this comes off, and the Gorilla Glass is solid with the front frame here, and it just goes on the back like that. It's pretty solid. What I like about it is that, compared to the OtterBox or to the LifeProof case that this is obviously competing with, it is a solid. It's as close to the original just straight iPhone glass that you're going to get. Inside, your iPhone is housed inside this huge perimeter of just shock-absorbent, whatever this stuff is made of. I'm sure it's listed in there. I don't know off the top of my head. And it pops out, and that's what adds a lot of bulk to the iPhone itself, because obviously it is, just a slim piece of material, the iPhone itself, compared to the case. And everything kind of just comes apart. The back here comes off, and you can see what that covers. Even everything down here to this little red piece can come off, and you could, if you had a white case and you wanted a red thing, you could easily switch that out. And then the rest is just the basic shock absorbent thing for protecting your iPhone. Now, what I want to talk about is if you should buy this case. I have an OtterBox and I have a LifeProof case. We're going to compare the two because there are a lot of pros and cons to all of them. And if you're spending $80 from the LifeProof for the OtterBox to all the way up to $124 for this case, you should know what are the pros, what are the cons. Alright, so this, obviously I said, I love it because it is military grade. I'm not going to, but if I went out and I just threw this down on the concrete, nothing's going to happen to my iPhone. It's completely safe inside this housing. Obviously, it adds a lot of bulk to the iPhone. It definitely adds weight to it. If you're looking to, keep the iPhone in the slim piece of almost art that it is, this might not be the best thing for you. Again, the only way I can describe it is military grade. That is the best way, the best adjective for this case. And here we have an OtterBox, and as you can see, the OtterBox is a little bit slimmer. You can obviously see that the edges of the Lunatik TakTik Extreme case kind of stick out beyond the OtterBox. The OtterBox gives it adds to the iPhone case without a detriment to the slim piece of art that it is, whereas this kind of does. And just as a comparison, here is the LifeProof case, and it's about the same thing. It keeps the slim lines of your iPhone, whereas this one will add to it. The LifeProof and the OtterBox, for all intents and purposes, are the exact same. So if you have one of those around, as opposed to thickness, the LifeProof is a little bit thinner. Just for comparison here. So obviously the LifeProof is the thinnest, this is a little bit thicker, and this is probably in the middle. In terms of screen protection, the LifeProof is got the waterproof film over it, so it's not flush with the iPhone. So when you're tapping or when you're typing, you're going to feel like a slight delay before your finger actually touches the phone, and that actually annoyed me a lot when using the LifeProof case. And one of the things that I just adore about this case is that there is none of that. This is the flat screen. It makes complete contact with the iPhone case. So when you're touching it, it is just immediately responsive. You'll be able to see. Yeah. The OtterBox is kind of an amalgamation of the two. It's not the Gorilla Glass. It's not completely flush. But again, it's not the waterproof kind of over film. So if you're looking for the straight finger to glass, this is going to be your best option. If you're looking for a little bit cheaper option, you might want to go with the OtterBox. And completely waterproof is a LifeProof. Now, this is water resistant. I don't want to convince you that it's waterproof. I would not go swimming with this thing. The LifeProof case was made to be waterproof. This, if you're out in the rain, it's not going to hurt your phone. Everything's covered pretty much from back here of the camera. This is covered down here, and you got the little headphone jack down there. It's even got a little cover there, but by no means is it watertight. So keep that in mind. And same way with the OtterBox. This is not waterproof either. It's obviously got the OtterBox back here. This isn't covered at all, as opposed to this one that has more of a cover. This is straight iPhone right here. And one of the most important parts that I wanted to talk about in the video is the headphone jack, because that was the most important part to me when considering which case to get, and really none of them kind of met my expectations. Maybe I have too high of expectations for today's cases. So what I use in my car is this monster auxiliary cable that I picked up from Target. I originally was using the LifeProof case, as I'm sure I've mentioned in past videos, and what that required of me was, when I bought the LifeProof case, it came with this extension for using this, for like if I was a surfer and I wanted to listen to music while surfing. This kind of completes the watertightness of the case and doesn't let any water in there. So this headphone extension still allowed me to use my auxiliary cable with the case, and I like that LifeProof kind of thought about that. However, without this, because this just comes with the LifeProof case, let's say I'm using this in my car, and this has been a major frustration for the past week. The TakTik case, actually, the hole right here is only designed and only big enough for the new Apple iPhone headphones that they come with. It's a very slim profile, so if you have any headphones that are bigger than that profile, you're not going to be able to use it with this without a headphone extender, like a headphone jack extender. I actually haven't purchased one yet. There are a couple I've been looking at. Basically, I haven't found an exact iPhone 5 headphone jack extender, so I don't want to jump in and spend some money without being sure that it's going to work completely. So keep in mind, if you do decide to get the Lunatik TakTik case, you are going to have to buy a headphone jack extender if you plan to use an auxiliary cable or any kind of headphones with it that are not the Apple iPhone 5 headphones. And almost the exact same way with the OtterBox. If you'll see here, the OtterBox, and there are different types of OtterBoxes. I don't know which one this is, but down here, and this doesn't have as much dust protection as this one does. The whole bottom side right here is covered. On the TakTik, this one's kind of open. So you pop this off, and you do have a little bit more room than you would with the TakTik. Unfortunately, a cable such as this is still too big to make complete contact. Maybe if I like really push it down, no. It's not going to work. Anyway, so if you're looking to buy an OtterBox or a Lunatik TakTik case, and you're using a cable such as this for auxiliary for headphones, you're going to have to buy an extender, so beware of that. And then the LifeProof comes with its own extender. Alright, so what is my recommendation? In terms of pure, frugality, if you're very frugal with your money, the OtterBox is going to be your best bet. Obviously, I believe this one was around $50, so I like it because it has it's the closest to the Gorilla Glass that you can get without spending, $124 on a case, if that's what you're looking for. The next most expensive is the LifeProof case, and I like it because it keeps a slim profile. It doesn't add any width to it really at all. So it keeps a very slim profile. Comes with its own extender, which I really appreciate, and all that. The only thing I hate about it, and this has driven me nuts, but again, I'm kind of OCD when it comes to this stuff, is the front cover. It's not flat. It doesn't make straight contact because it has to be waterproof. It's completely sealed around here. So it does leave a little gap between the screen and the actual case. So when you press down on it, there is, a tiny fraction of a second when you hit the screen before you hit the phone. And it just kind of would get in my way when I was texting. So if that doesn't bother you, maybe the LifeProof case is what you need at, about $80. But then we get to the TakTik Extreme. And I was so close to just giving it the, buy it. Don't think about it, just buy it. It is a wonderful case. It's beautiful. When I take it out of my pocket, people notice it. It is it's definitely an attention drawer. It's a man's case. It's not something that you really keep in your front pocket, with how wide it is. I keep it in my back pocket personally, and I just love it. For $125, I think it's a deal. The only thing, the Achilles heel, the only thing that I cannot give it my full 100% endorsement is this down here, being only designed for the iPhone 5 headphones. If they included, at least an extender themselves, with a $125 case, it's obviously on the high end. I don't know what other cases are out there, but I doubting they're breaking any more than $125. So at $125, to go spend more money on a headphone extender simply because they didn't include one, and you want to listen to your auxiliary cable in your car, that gets a bit frustrating, because I imagine if I buy an extender here, I could probably find a cheap one for $5 or $10, or I might just have to buy a complete different auxiliary cable for another $30. Either way, price is getting up there in terms of iPhone cases. If they will just include a dock, or not a dock extender, but a jack extender, that would be the best thing, and I could be on board with it for $125. But just be aware of these things, that even for the OtterBox, you're going to have to go buy the extender here. All of them are good cases. All of them are shock resistant. I feel this one is the toughest. It's got, obviously, as you've seen, the most padding around it. This one kind of sits in there, and this one's got a little bit less padding than this one, more than this one. So consider all the variables when you're going out, when you're shopping for these. I'm personally going to keep using the TakTik. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to pony up for the extender or the extra auxiliary cable. You make your choice. If you have any questions at all, drop us a line. We'll give you a complete, objective, fair answer. There'll be a link below our video where you can purchase the Lunatik TakTik case. There'll be a link on our website where you can purchase the Lunatik TakTik case. Don't forget to like us on all the social media. We got the Facebook, we have Twitter, and obviously we have YouTube, where we bring you reviews of the independently created, funded, and manufactured products. And until next time.